Hey, so we're going to pick up today where we left off in our Psalm 1. And so we are almost at the end of this chapter. It's just been a chapter in Psalm, but it's been good, and I hope that it's been and brought some revelation for you, like as for me. But if you have the Psalm 1 book that I wrote, that's the 30-day devotion, we're going to pull a lot of material for this next portion from the book. So actually, we're going to start, if you've got the book and you want to kind of follow along and make notes, we're going to pick up at what would be day 17 is where I'm going to pull some of this material from, so that you can follow along if you want to. But if you don't have the book, and you don't have to have it to go through and to join with us. So let's just pick up. So yesterday we talked about the wise and the foolish builder, and that the only thing that we are told that is really different about the houses is the foundation that they were built on. That one builder built a house on the firm foundation, the rock of Jesus Christ, and the other, the foolish builder, built their house on the sand. And of course, great and complete was the fall of it. And so I want to go into Psalm 1. And let's just read our verse again. So we're going to move in today on to verse 5, and it says, "Therefore the wicked, those disobedient and living without God, shall not stand justified in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous, those who are upright and in right standing with God." So a couple of things that I really want to bring out in this, let's get back to the 5, is that just like we saw in verse 4, it says here that the wicked, and then it classifies who is he talking about? Who are these people? Who are the wicked? What does it mean to be wicked? And it says that those disobedient and living without God are not so. We talked about again earlier in the week that the gospel is for everyone. It is for whosoever will. But there is only one way to the Father. It's not exclusive. It doesn't exclude any group of people, any one person who would but come to the Father through Jesus Christ. So it is for whosoever would come, but there's only one way that we're going to get to the Father. And so if we do not choose to submit ourselves to the Lordship of Jesus Christ, if we do not recognize Him as Savior, then we are disobedient and we are choosing to live without God. And it says that the wicked, those disobedient and living without God, shall not stand justified. Now I want to go, we'll pick up into that day 17. In this, we can't walk like the wicked and ungodly and expect to see God's hand at work in our life. We can't live like the world and expect God's promises. The only way, and again, this goes back to, it's for whosoever would come, but it's only through Jesus. And so there is a definite change that happens when we submit our lives to the Lordship of Jesus Christ. And I was thinking about this, and how in the world do I really get across the change? Well, the Bible talks about children and adults, but even another way to look at it is when you get married, life changes. Everything about your life changes, and you no longer live for yourself or by yourself or in yourself. You are now connected to another person, and everything that affected you now affects them. And I think that that's such a beautiful picture of it. And the Bible, God calls the church the bride of Christ, and that when we come into relationship with Jesus, or through Jesus with the Father, that we are now in covenant with God. And covenant, that it's a marriage covenant. The ceremony was a marriage covenant and a binding promise between man and woman. Well, it is established as a picture of representation of our commitment and our covenant with God, because our earthly relationships always mirror that of our spiritual relationships. And so we enter into covenant with Jesus in the same way that husband and wife enter into covenant with one another, promising to put the other one first, to value the other, treasure the other, committing themselves to one another. That's what the marriage ceremony is about. It is that point in time where you become joined together You know, and so I think that that is a beautiful picture of what it looks like when we are joined with Christ, and how everything changes once we make that decision. So we're already at the 5-minute mark. We'll pick up here again tomorrow, and I will see you then. Bye.